Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I felt like today we should sit and just talk, okay, I know I just said we. I felt like I should sit down and just talk about some of my favorite affordable makeup today. Like you, my feed has also been inundated with Sephora sales recommendations, which I'm not mad about. I always like to see what other people are recommending. However, like many of you, I'm sure, I am not a Rouge member. I'm not even a VIB member. So to me, this particular Sephora sale has very little meaning. I know I'm gonna be holding out for the actual 20% off coupon that sometimes shows up near the end of the year before I grab something luxurious from Sephora. So I thought it'd be nice just to go over some affordable favorites. Black Friday is coming up. A lot of the things are gonna be on sale. Plus, it's just nice to go through the things that I know I already like and know and try and talk myself out of some of the things that are on my wish list. Let's start with foundation. So this product from L'Oreal, it has been around for ages. It used to be in a little bottle without a pump. They repackaged it, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, to have a pump now, and this is such a good little product from L'Oreal. So this is the True Match Super Blendable Foundation. I have the shade W2, and it comes in a lot of different shades. So it was one big point in its favor. And I am wearing it today. Oh, got a hair on my lip. I am wearing it today. It has a more natural finish, so it's not gonna lean matte or dewy. This is very thin. When I found this, or when I tried this, I was trying to find a replacement for my Believe Beauty foundation that got discontinued. This is not as thick and creamy as that foundation. Much more thin. It makes me happy to be able to recommend a product that's been available for so long. All right, a concealer favorite. So first off, I should mention that I am not somebody who wants a really intense under eye concealer. I prefer something that looks more natural, that's going to give a little bit of brightening, a little bit of softening, a little bit of color correction, and holy cow, this has become so much of a favorite of mine. I have to make myself use other products. So this is from Neutrogena. This is the Hydrating Hydra Boost Concealer. And it kind of looks like one of those kind of gimmicky products. It's got like the product in the middle and the rest of the product on the outside. It doesn't really look very inspiring. But this has the most glorious soft satin texture. I have a video where I showed it to you where I apply it and I just tap it out with my fingers and it makes my under eye skin look perfected but not makeup-y. Now granted, I do not have intense under eye circles. If you're trying to cover those, this probably is not going to be the product for you. But for me, where I'm just looking for some light coverage with that kind of perfected looking look, oh, this is glorious. It can be really difficult to pick a shade. They all kind of look the same in the package. I have the shade Fair 10. Bronzer. There's lots of good bronzers that are affordable. The one that I would probably recommend every single time is the one from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. You don't hear me talking about this too often because my shade 200, is discontinued. I just checked it again on L'Oreal's website. All the rest of the shades are available, just not this one. I don't know what the deal is. If you find the shade 200 and you're a very fair to pale person, if you find it in a Walmart or something, you found a unicorn. I like it because it is so pale. Like that is a really good shade for me. I have a video of myself applying it. So this is a matte powder, no sparkles. It's beautifully silky. It does not feel like a drugstore product. It blends like a dream. Really easy to apply. You don't need any fancy brushes. I just used my e.l.f. complexion brush and it's beautiful. Highlighter, I have two to mention, one cream and one powder. For cream, I am going to stick with the Colourpop Lunch Money highlighter. So Colourpop has this beautiful Supershock highlighter in a lot of different shades. I like Lunch Money because it's not glittery and it has this most beautiful softening effect. I find myself really drawn to highlighters that have this kind of blurring effect, even though they are creating a, the shiny glowy effect. It has that beautiful Super Shock soft bouncy texture, and this particular shade, Lunch Money, look at there, so smooth. I've had mine for years and it's still got its beautiful soft texture. I always worry about products like this drying out. Mine hasn't dried out at all. If you want a very beaming highlighter but with this texture, try the shade Flexitarian from Colourpop. But if you want something that's a little bit more understated, it's that beautiful glow. Ooh, lunch money is the one. Now, if cream products are not really your jam, if you prefer a powder, well then let me recommend another classic drugstore product, and it is from Revlon. This is the Skin Lights highlighter in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. Now, oh, this is so good. So this is a baked gelée formula. For one thing, you don't see that super often at the drugstore, and this is lovely. Oh, it's so nice. And it's very bright. So if you're looking for something that's really gonna pop, but still has that really good, smooth texture, you're gonna like this one. Another one that's been around for a long time, and I hope Revlon has sense and does not discontinue. So many of my products, by the way, today I was pulling them up and I mentioned this and mentioned this, and I went to look it up to make sure they were still available, and they were not. So absolutely devastated to find out that some of my favorites are not here. Honorable mention, by the way, I was gonna mention the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Amber Rush, which is in this packaging, looks like this. I went on L'Oreal's website and it still shows this formula, but not the shade. So again, if you happen to see this in store, let me give you a swatch so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the shade Amber Rush. If you have blue eyes or green eyes, this is really gonna make your eyes pop, but it looks good on everybody. Anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent there. I wasn't even talking about eye products, but there you go. There's another recommendation if you can find it. Okay, let's talk about blush. You guys know I have a lot of blush favorites. I could probably do a whole separate video talking about good ones at the drugstore. I thought I would pick just a few of my favorites that are affordable. Not all these are drugstore. One of these is indie. Just know that there are a lot more that I recommend. Okay, let's start off with the one that I'm wearing. This is the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush, specifically in the shade Goldy Cassis. It looks very, very purple in the pan. It has a tiny little bit of silver sparkles running through it, but looking at how it looks on me, it doesn't look too purple, right? I love a purple blush like this. And in case you're wondering about undertone, I do have a warm undertone. So blushes in this particular color of purple do not look super, super purple on me. They just look kind of berryish. I've gotten a question several times whether these are better or the Milani are better. They're both really good formulas. Just pick a color that you like, and I think that you'll like either formula. There's glittery shades in both formulas, and there's less glittery shades in both formulas. But another shade from this line that I really like is shade number 7, Cool Coral. This is such a brightening, like lifting shade for my complexion. Oh, when I wear that, that just screams summer. I love how that looks. And this is one of the shades that is not glittery. One of the very first blushes that I started raving about on my channel, and I have not quit, is from NYX. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous product, and I'm so happy it's still around. I actually just reordered this. I've had mine for so many years that, you know, I've always been checking to make sure that it's still okay. And finally, I must have over-tightened the lid because it split. And when that happens, air got inside and I can smell it starting to it's getting a little funky. So it comes with a little wand. It's very pigmented. You do not need very much, but this is the shade Nude Tude. And when you blend it out, it turns into a soft matte. Now, I really gave you a big swatch there, but I wanted to blend it out so you could see the color that it is on me. It is a gorgeous toasty nude. And since it is a soft matte, it wears a long time. Oh, that is, it is so good. Another cream formula that I think I've been talking about for probably just as long. This is from Profusion. This is the Blush Hour Liquid Blush. It comes with a little applicator like this. I have one of the lightest shades. This is the shade Rosé. Now, I've heard the deeper shades are very, very pigmented, but this particular shade is like very soft and watercolor-esque. Really easy to blend out and easy to wear. Yeah, that's starting to smell like paint. I should probably get a new one. And as for the affordable indie blush I wanted to mention, I have to talk about this cream blush from Sydney Grace. So I have the shade Dreamy, which is a soft, cool toned color. Not quite purple, but I kind of put it in with my purples because, you know, it's almost there. I like this formula so much because while it is pigmented, it's very easy to work with. It's very thin. You don't need to pick up very much on your brush, and it's very spreadable. There, that's that blended out, and it just melts into my skin. It doesn't look like I have any product sitting on top because it's so thin. I don't think these get a lot of mention. At least I haven't seen other people talking about them, but I really, really love it. All right, let's switch gears and talk about some eyeshadow palettes. Can you guess which favorite eyeshadow palette I'm wearing on my eyes? I will give you a chance to think about it. Yes, It is Colourpop Going Coconuts. This is my same original palette that I've had for years, and the formula is still very good. So the reason why this is such a good everyday neutral palette, we have a cool leaning matte, a warm leaning matte, a neutral matte, and a nice dark brown. Today I use this cooler matte throughout my crease and on my lower lash line to create my eye shape. Then I put this dark brown on my outer corner and then again through my crease to give it a little bit more depth. I put my very favorite shade, Cocoa Crush, all across my lid. And then I use this light sparkly shade called Palm Reader on my inner corner. Now, a friend of mine who has more tan skin, she felt like this was not deep enough for her. But if you have medium skin and you like this palette, please let us know down in the comments. Another brand, ooh, I love the mattes from this brand. This particular palette, Bare palette from Profusion, has been discontinued. I need to go pick up a new palette from them and see if I still like their formula. I'm sure I do. It's not just the color, because the colors are so nice, the texture of these mattes. It's hard to believe that they are so cheap, because this was a very, very inexpensive palette. I got it at Walmart. Oh, they're so smooth, so blendy. And they have a ton of different eyeshadow options, a lot of really big palettes. I put up a couple on the screen of some that I've been looking at. If you think that there's one in particular that I would like, make sure and let me know down in the comments. Is Beauty Bay an indie brand? I actually am not even sure how they are classified, but in any case, this is very affordable and it's lovely. This is the 16 pan neutral palette from Beauty Bay. Look at the top row. Oh, it's just, it's so neutral. It makes me so happy. And yes, the shimmers are beautiful. They're well known for having beautiful shimmers, but I actually was very impressed by the mattes in this palette. They're so creamy. There's honestly so many good options if you're trying to build a makeup collection and want to save money. One honorable mention, I'm gonna mention this palette from Milani. This is an honorable mention because compared to these other ones, it is newer in my collection and I just haven't used it as much. And I haven't tried other palettes from Milani to like compare the formulas, but this particular palette, this is Whiskey Business. I was very impressed by this. These are everyday wearable mattes. They blend it out beautifully. And no, there's nothing really like super special about it, but I have tried some really bad mattes from the drugstore before. So whenever I find nice ones, I'm always like, oh, that's nice. So honorable mention here. A cream shadow mention from NYX. So this is called the Ultimate Glow Shot. I have the shade Golden Goji. So this is really kind of unique in my collection. I don't really have anything else like this. So this is not ultra sparkly. This is more of like a smooth metallic. Look at how pretty that is. You can build it up to make it more intense, but my favorite way to wear it is actually fairly sheared out, and it creates the prettiest soft wash of color on your lids. Like, look at how pretty that is. If you're anti-glitter but you still want shine, you probably will like this. It does dry down, it wears beautifully, but it still gives you enough time to work with it if you're trying to blend it out. With liquid shadows in general, you do try to work quickly, but this doesn't dry too fast. Okay, and as for mascaras, so I do keep a running list on my Shop My account. If you go down into my description box, I have a click on my favorites link, and I have a list of my favorite mascaras in that long list of favorites. So I do keep that updated. Right now, I don't have any of my like most favorite mascaras open. Like I'm thinking of the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, for instance, but I do have a more recent favorite. So by recent, I think this was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year. Time has gotten away from me, obviously. But anyway, this is from e.l.f. and this is the Lash Xtndr, and this is their version of a tubing mascara. The very first month or so I used this mascara, I actually didn't like it. I thought it was very kind of ho-hum. But once my tube dried out a little bit, I liked it so much more. So this is actually my second tube of this, and I accidentally purchased the brown one. This is called, yeah, just brown. But look at that. Look at how long it makes my lashes. This is 2 coats. I was able to build it up to have a, more drama, because especially when I'm wearing eyeshadow, I like my mascara to have some drama. But it is a true tubing mascara. It washes off with just warm water, so it's very gentle on your eyelashes. And if you're after length, yes, amazing. All right, let's talk about lips. Now, I actually have really slowed down in my trying out of different lip products. In fact, lip gloss used to be my #1 category. Unfortunately, I have developed sensitivities to a lot of common lip products, especially if the product is plumping or minty. And right now, that's what's in. A lot of the products that are released are a plumping product, so that's why you don't see me mentioning any of those. But I still have some favorites. Let's start off with the one that I'm wearing. So this is another product from e.l.f. This is the Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and again, with the gimmicky packaging, it's got like a little heart. I think it's a heart. Yeah, it's a little heart that has like the hydrating part and then the color on the outside. Tinted lip balms like this, a lot of brands have them. They're almost all identical. But I actually really like this shade. Like, this is pretty unique in my collection. I really like shades that are similar to like Black Honey from Clinique. This is actually more purpley than Black Honey. This is the shade Ecstatic. And ooh, whenever I'm wearing purple blush, I like to pull this out. It really brings the whole look together. But my packaging is broken. So, you know, that's one of the hazards of affordable makeup, is the very breakable packaging. Probably my #1 recommendation, if you are going to go for a tinted lip balm, you've got to try like these. Oh, they're so good. This is the Revlon Shine Lustrous Lipstick. If you're gonna try a lipstick actually at the drugstore, just try Revlon first. They have many different formulas from matte to shiny. I love these. And this is the one I have pulled out in my Shop My Stash this month and I can't stop wearing it. This is shade #4, Nude Illuminator. Ooh, this is one of those glossy little tinted lip balms that the shade just goes with most things. You know, sometimes, especially if you're wearing color on your eyes and color on your cheeks, it's like, okay, what can I wear on my lips that isn't gonna make this too much? This is one of those really good shades for that. It has a very pleasant vanilla scent, and I can say it is sensitive lip friendly. There have been so many times I've been close to buying the YSL, oh no, now I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the candy gloss or whatever, but it comes in a stick like this. They went viral. Everyone loves them, but I am so afraid to try it. It's because it's so expensive. What if it bothers my lips? So anyway, I've been contenting myself. I bought the whole range of these instead. And I really like them. One more tinted lip balm. If you can handle the L'Oreal lip product scent, I find it doesn't bother me at all. They have this product called a Balm in Lipstick from the Glow Paradise line. Just delightful. So this is the shade Nude Heaven. Again, another one of those shades. It just goes with almost everything. So easy to wear. And there's a lot of shades. From that same Glow Paradise line, this is actually an intense favorite. I really like this. This is the Balm in Gloss. So it's supposed to be like a liquid lip balm. It's not as thick as, say, the Rare Beauty glosses are, but it does have more of a cushiony feel, very comfortable. I have the shade 120 Rose Harmony, and see how shiny it is. This has been like my go-to gloss. It is scented with kind of that floral L'Oreal scent, but again, sensitive, lip friendly. This one doesn't bother me at all. And it comes in some really pretty shades as well. All right, and another product category that is very popular right now, so many brands are coming out with them, lip stains. The drugstore has a couple really good formulas. This is a newer favorite to me. This is the NYX Lip IV, the Hydrating Gloss Serum. I have shade #8, Drippin' in Rose. This has a lot of pigment when you first lay it down, but it's really fun to put on because it's so smooth. You put it on and it's like, ooh, that's very nice. It just has a very nice texture. It's super glossy. However, you can blot it and it does leave a very nice stain on your lips that lasts a long time. This is definitely what is K-beauty inspired. It's made in South Korea. NYX really did a good thing. The other one that's really good is from Milani. So this is the Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. I have the shade Rose Rising. This is not as thick. Well, the shade is very similar, isn't it? I obviously have a type. So it's not as thick as the NYX. It's not as glossy. So if the thought of like a thick lip product really grosses you out, you might like the Milani one better. But it's the same type of deal. It starts off glossy, you can blot it, and it leaves you with a really nice stain. All right, I'm looking to make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, I did forget. I forgot to mention the Milani, all over the place this morning, the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. One tube will last you for years. This is not like a blank canvas type primer. The whole purpose of this one is to just provide kind of a barrier between your eyelid and the eyeshadow, and it really, really helps to prevent creasing. Eyeshadows will usually crease on me if I don't use this, and this really, really helps. If you have a sparkly eyeshadow and you're concerned about fallout, NYX Glitter Glue. Rather, it's called the Glitter Primer. Lastly, let's talk about brushes really quickly. If you're looking to save money on brushes, I would suggest checking out Profusion, e.l.f, and Morphe. Morphe does go on sale quite regularly. Of the three, they probably have the nicest brushes, but you can get very nice brushes from both Profusion and e.l.f as well. Here's a really nice eye brush from Profusion. This is called the Firm Blending Eyeshadow Brush. This is the ES2. This is a really nice, like with the pinched base and the fluffier top. This is really nice for kind of getting in the crease. I used this brush today from Morphe. This is the M506. This is really nice because it's a small brush and you can get in and really blend in those small little areas if you have small eyes. And of course, the e.l.f. complexion brush, really, really nice fluffy brush for applying bronzer. Well, I had so much fun talking about some of my favorites that are affordable. I always want to know what other people's favorites are, especially if you have a different skin tone or undertone to me. Let everyone know down in the comments, what are your favorites? But I really needed personally just to do this video to talk me out of buying some new stuff. It didn't work completely because I bought some stuff and it's on its way to me because I am such a sucker for sales. But after going through some of my favorites, I admit I do feel more content. I don't need more things. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. This is always where I share my tea of the day. Today I am drinking white peony. Sometimes you see it labeled by Mudan. White tea is the least processed of all the teas. It's basically just picked and dried. So it has the most delicate flavor, and probably the most popular white tea is by Mudan or white peony. And to be honest, it tastes very grass-like, hay-like. I always say it tastes like fresh hay smells. And if you've been anywhere where they're making fresh hay, you know that glorious, glorious scent. I feel like that is encapsulated in flavor form in white tea. Thank you so much for joining me, and please share your favorites in the comments. I love researching everybody's favorites. I'll see you again very soon in the next one. Bye!